I need it
Exactly.
because I was able to, when I finished that process of clearing, I make some phone calls after that. Like I call some people I don't talk to in years. I didn't even think about it until after, and I'm just like clearing the way. Because again, your gut health directly tied to your mental health, and there are things that have us, congested and constipated and blocked up that are literally causing emotional stress on our lives that we're not even thinking about. So sometimes we dive deep into the plant medicine. You need for just clean out your stomach, flush out your bowels, do a little, you know what I mean? Preparation. And run into any kind of medical treatment. When you go to the hospital and they're going to give you certain types of treatment, then say don't eat at all for a certain amount of hours. But yet no, you know what I mean? You want to come off of your KFC and your Burger King and go and take ayahuasca. And then, you know what I mean?
Joke thing.
And I've never done ayahuasca personally yet, but you know what I mean? I'm not opposed. I don't fear plant medicine in the same way that I will fear the medicine that man experiments with.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
yeah.
Especially in this time, boy.
Bro, yeah. So it's just one of those things.
People see me on tour and I say, oh, Kabaka, take this and take that.
We're not asking nobody no question. Like certain things, the personal information. So it's like they don't ask.
Yeah, no.
You know?
People need for just relax, man. Because at the end of the day, I don't know, we there try to educate people. Like, you know what I mean? We could have been out there just singing about anything. You know what I mean? Running down hits and all of them kind of thing and running down trending, and it's like
community that I have written some songs that I would never ever publish because they're for my own. Like when I'm on campus and you hear your virgin and then I write some little, and you're like, that's so crass, but I could do it better. And you do it better. And the man then, and I'm like, I will never utter those words out of my mouth again because you can do anything.
No, but we're songwriters. We're songwriters. You know, at the end of the day, you give away a concept, we can put lyrics to it. We can flesh it out.
But the thing is, this particular journey for me, and as in my experience of you, it is mostly to serve. You know, so it's not everything I can do, I'm going to do, and it's not everything that I'm going to do out loud for other people.
Purpose driven. Purpose driven.
You know, word sound is so much power. Like we have to be careful. Like I don't sing certain songs, right? I don't utter negative words over myself. So even not that I am never in a depressive state and we should only sing certain kind of music because our life is perfect. Obviously not, right? But I am not going to utter certain words over myself. But I hear other people write those songs and I love them. And these love songs and oh man, this and whatever and romance and all these things.
Yeah.
Along. I'm not out there promoting them, but I in my house singing them, and some of the most ratchet, terrible songs as well. You can find creative value in them. You find a place and time them are gonna reach you in other, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that I want to create that. And it doesn't mean there are times when that music is repulsive to me.
Yeah, it's really about
at all.
To me, it's really about what makes the spirit feel fulfilled. Because at the end of the day, you know, we full joy certain things. We go watch certain type of movies, gun movie and suspense and crime and all of them things. But would my spirit feel fulfilled if I was to put them things out in the world? It's like, and then even from a next perspective, because maybe you do it and you get the success, you feel fulfillment from a level of success, which is cool. All right, whatever. But what about the balance? Like everybody has a role to play in life, I feel. And I feel like my musical role, which I feel is similar to your musical role, is providing the balance within the content of what music is out there, what people have to listen. You know, if there wasn't a Sizzler doing the type of songs that he did, maybe I wouldn't even be doing music, or maybe I'd be doing some different type of music. True. You know what I mean? It's just the role. Everybody have a role. That's why when we sing Revival, we all have a part to play. It's like, you know, everybody have a different function in this thing. Some people are go do this and them are go this with it and them are go sign to this label and some of them are go get, you know what I mean? That's cool. Everybody have a role. Everybody have a role.
And also, like, when we look at how we judge, like, good or bad, this polarity consciousness, right?
Yeah.
Where, okay, a good experience and this is a bad experience, or this is a good song and this is a, you know, it's a bad word.
Positive
and
negative and
is set up yourself to limit the potential of experiences that you can have in life. You know, you set up yourself to be divided from somebody else once you start to, you know, break up into that dichotomy. It's either it's good or it's bad, or the judgment, and you miss out on experiences. Like for me, every experience that I have is an experience that I have attracted. If I take that level of responsibility for my life, then I can never be a victim. I will always need to understand why this is happening. Because what you might look at as a negative experience right now, 3 years from now, you look back and say, wow, if it wasn't for that experience. So if in my moment now, because of my many years on earth, I've had enough of those experiences to know that, okay, this negative experience that is happening to me is an opportunity for me to be still and observe. Because emotional explosion is going to probably cause me to miss the lesson that it's here for, and make me have to go have the experience over again in the future. So it's like, how do I stay in place? And again, it brings us back to that conversation about ganja, because ganja is one of the gets you to be so deeply reflective,
introspective.
Introspective. If you are able to just use it in a balanced way and like observe yourself as you use these herbs. And this is why I steam, because steaming is something that you have to pay attention to. Like you pay attention to how your body is receiving it. And it's one of the, it doesn't creep up on you, right? You are feeling as it goes along. So you are determining how much of. That's why some people, them hit the steamers, them take 2 hits and they're like, that's it. No more. Because they're good. You know what I mean? Like you. And then you have other people, and it depends too where you are. Because if you're steaming in public, you know that if you go beyond a certain level, you're going to leave the people and you're going to be in another place all by yourself. You know what I mean? But if you get just the right amount, it makes it just sociable enough so that you can interact with people and they can get a good experience of you. So some people use it for themselves, right? And then with steaming, because you're not burning the herb, you don't stink of smoke. You're not having, doesn't affect your whole countenance in the same way. So you can steam and people don't even know that you were steaming. And just it's such a light experience for such an intense experience.
Definitely. It's light on the body.
Lighter on the body, but it goes directly to the brain. So while the smoke having a full body experience of smoke, and that some people become addicted to that. So it's not even so much the ganja of it. Some people ratio, it's not 30-70, it's more 50-50 or 60-40, right? They grab a
tobacco is definitely addictive. There's no doubt about that. Like the sensation of it.
Addicted to Alice. Tobacco them addicted to, you know?
Yeah. It's the feeling when it jumped down your throat, that little feeling.
You know, some man just OD you with the pepper. That's how I like in grabber to pepper. It's like, man, them love hot things just to burn them tongue like, and it's like, I want more. I don't want. Like a kind, you know, it's a kind of, what's the word? Masochism. Because it is. But it's also because around it is like, it's an interesting pairing of things. But it is a dangerous, especially when you're introducing grabber, because not everyone is growing their own tobacco leaves and curing it in the right way. So you don't know.
Don't some people would have used the tobacco in certain spiritual rituals too?
Definitely. But certainly not comparable to how the man them use ganja.
Definitely not.
Because, and I mean, tobacco, it is is particular rituals at particular times these cultures used to use it for, you know. This is not every day you wake up first thing in the morning till evening and you take a break to do a little work and go back at it, right? This
Definitely.
is rituals with particular intentions that you use the herb and tobacco in particular for. And it's tobacco that is grown for that purpose.
Yeah.
So when I hear people use those excuses now, I don't argue with people anymore in life, but I just make a mental note that that's an excuse that you're making because you're addicted. You know? Somebody being addicted doesn't make them a bad person. It's not a negative thing. I don't say that with judgment. I say that with great compassion because I understand that addiction is a terrible and powerful thing. It's like a demon around you. You literally lose your ability to manage yourself. Right? You reach a point.
Speaking of demons, right? Speaking of demons, right?
Say that again.
Sorry, there. You just make a great point because what a lot of us not aware of is that there are different entities around us on different planes of existence constantly. Just like when you see like the flies, them will pitch on a cow or whatever, and them whole existence is to eat the little feces around the cow and all of them kind of thing there. See me? Like them need the cow to exist and them feed off of the cow. So it's just like bees with flowers and them thing there. There are certain entities within like the astral world and with the etheric world and all of these things that we can't see unless we have certain abilities developed, that they feed off of the energy when we do certain things. You know, so our emotions during that process, them literally feed, it's food for them. Like they come around and they will do things to encourage you to maintain it so that they can eat and feed off of you. These are actual entities. What's
you know
that?
what I mean?
So that just like
because it's same with the parasites inside of your stomach. You think you crave sugar, you think you're craving this fast food, but really it is the parasite pulling your brain.
Exactly.
Yeah?
100%.
These things are detrimental to you, but people now have no ritual of cleansing, no ritual of detox. We have lost those traditions because we're not paying attention to our inward cycles. We're only paying attention to the cycle of money and the cycle of, you know, and which season of Game of Thrones is coming. You know, the new Game of Thrones is coming. Everybody know when that's going to hit.
Everything right now is to keep you mentally stimulated. That's all it is. You know, the whole pandemic was to keep us even more focused on technology and more into with phones and more into streaming and more into all of these things. Like physical activity and all of these things is becoming like less and less significant for us, for humanity. And these are ways where people can capitalize off us. So, you know, there's a whole side of that that's being pushed by big tech and big pharma and all of these things. So as you said, the more we keep grounded by keeping these rituals and certain things, the better off we are and the more balanced we are. And the more we go out into nature and not just depend with phones all day, it's like it's gonna get more and more difficult because them are gonna keep doing things to keep us indoors and keep us getting Uber Eats and all of these kind of things. And you know, but at the end of the day, it's temporary because it's not sustainable.
And that is why I'm going to segue now. That is why now in this Web3 reality that is coming forward, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because there is no point in fighting what is happening. It is
Definitely.
all about ourselves, understanding what we can do with the tools that are being made available as we continue to balance our physical and our spiritual. Yeah.
Sure.
So for me, in looking, because I'm always looking at how do I now serve the new experience of life that my brothers and sisters are having. Otherwise, it's up in the bush. Like, I don't have to deal with people. I can just go and deal with life and don't have to interact with the world, right? But if we go and interact with the world, you know, to how we grow, to our parents' growth, we know that we must serve because it is in serving that we are, right? I'm not a saint. I know that it is very gratifying to serve. So we're going to serve. And we look and we say, what's happening now? We see where cryptocurrencies and NFTs, this is not a new thing, but right now we see where that has a great potential. So we spend months studying and observing it to see, okay, when does it become stable? What are the real use cases that we can apply to the real world? Who are the people in the space? What are their weaknesses? How can we fortify them? How can we find a balance with, you know, technology, and which is the inevitability, and still maintaining our humanity? So I space, and I don't see any wellness offerings that are geared specifically toward people who are thriving in this space. And when I observe the people I know who are thriving in this space, these people are not taking care of themselves. These people are getting their physical bodies. These are the people who get drawn into that space now and sitting down, getting fat, not realizing that 5 hours have passed and they haven't even had any water or had any food, you know, but they made lots of money, you know. So it's like reminding them of that balance. How do I now create a community that can reach them? Because they're not even in the same web. They're not on Instagram anymore. They're in Web3. They're in a different part of the internet. They're in a different experience of technology where the whole world is going to go eventually, right? So how do I help my brothers and sisters now mitigate against being pulled all the way in and forgetting themselves?
Like,
and this is why product, like, you know, and I mean, if you look at even the term non-fungible, that means we are going to determine the value of what this is. So this is a test as well as it is an opportunity to serve. So I want to test and see how can we increase the importance of utility services. Yeah, Pierre will come back. It must get to an important call. But we have to see how are we going to increase the value of our interactions and of our life experiences without losing ourselves in these spaces. Because His Majesty says, and I always repeat this, is that the spiritual and the material have to grow together. You know what I mean? They have to grow together at the same time. So if it is that we are going to operate in this technological world, we need, if we don't have a person in our lives who is reminding us, go and do this, go and eat some water, get up now when last you stretch. We need at least a community of people so that we know that somebody's checking in on just that in this space. So that's kind of the stance that we've taken now with the Chalice Station. And we're using Chalice and Ganja because we're bridging it too. We're bridging it because there's many birds we're trying to feed with the one stone, with the one seed. You know what I mean? So how do we help our community understand that, what is the word? That balance is crucial. Balance
is an important thing because right now the way I see this thing ahead towards is like Matrix, where everybody just plugged into these machines and we just live an alternate reality where, as I say, I can't really see humanity reaching to that level. I feel like something will go.
Already, you know, bro. I don't remember was it China, where they literally showed one of those farms where they're making babies so that you don't have to have the youth in your belly anymore.
Yeah.
You can have the growing in the pod, and they're literally showing you, walking you through these factories, these baby factories. And I saw it, and I'm telling you that it shook me up, especially with a baby in my belly now, and all of the things that I have to go through to think that, you know, oh, you know, it can even be more effective than the mother's womb. I mean, I hear mankind has said them thing there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like you wonder what you know, you wonder if actual souls will be in these entities. It's like, you know, I can't see that being a process for souls to be able to enter the earth. You know, it's scary to me. And we know that there are certain entities that literally want humans to stay within this earth plane cycle. They don't want humans to go through the process of going into the higher realms and then returning back through a reincarnation process. They want to keep feeding on us within the low energy cycles and frequency.
Yeah. And now them have things them saying, you know, man cannot live to 150. Why would I want to live to 150? You know what I mean? That's me personally. And I might sound weird to somebody else because in their mind, why do you want to die?
100%.
Never,
100%.
that could never be a negative thing if it is a natural thing that happened to everybody. That could never be a finality. It must be a part of the cycle. Why? It is the same polarity consciousness of good and bad. Like birth is good, but death is bad. You know?
No, but death is just another birth. Death is just another birth. The thing is, we don't have enough knowledge about the afterlife process. And that's one of the things where I kind of taken upon myself to lead the charge on, because, you know, we don't know about life in these other worlds, you know, and there's ones out there who have extensive experience of seeing into these worlds and recording information. You know, the Akashic records are there that speak to how humans evolved and how we were before we are now, where you need man and woman to reproduce. There were periods where, you know, it was different, and there will be periods in the future where it's different from that too, you know. But at the end of the day, we're souls and we're eternal. You know, we live
Beyond the flesh.
eons and eons, and we've seen many different manifestations of this planet and this solar system, you know, and even that reincarnates. So it's like them can't stop life no matter what them doing. And we know that there's a war right now between nature and science, you know, and that is something I'm very conscious of. And I'm not about all of these people and these movements and these political sides that are just pushing science, technology, because at the end of the day, that's what them trying to lead this thing to where, you know, you're creating babies in machines. And we's not about that. We are beings of the earth. We come from the planet. You know, our evolution is suitable to the life on this planet. And if we are creating
this planet, yeah.
No, of course, there was a point where the sun, there was a point where everything was one mass, you know, and then the different planets started to shoot off, and the different beings that needed experience on the different planets went with them, and our existence is here on Earth. So at the end of the day, you know, people talk about aliens and all of these things, and you know, there's whole heap of madness out there. But at the end of the day, we are here for this earth. We are a part of the earth's evolution. We're not here to try and separate ourselves from the planet and try and create an alternate reality and all that kind of thing.
The earth, everything that has life and breath and grows and develops is part of the one original source we come from. Yeah?
Sure.
And create this idea that, you know, there are too many people on the planet, and, you know, this scarcity is the reality, and all of these you know, these fearful ideologies that are being pushed on us by the colonial news media.
Yeah.
Right? They go against nature. Like, you know, we're harming the environment. And I mean, these are sometimes very touchy topics for people, because people have invested a lot of emotion into it, and there's a lot of money spent marketing certain concepts to people, right? And so everything going green and whatever, and which car you drive because it's low emission, but the factories that build these things, or the places that grow these things, and the way that, like, you can twist any argument with words, especially the English language, which is a business language, you know what I mean? And
not only that, them using the word love and saying this love movement, and is them justifying total confusion and total, you know, stepping away from the process of nature. You know, where we as human beings now, with our limited spiritual growth and thing, are gonna determine, you know, that's what I can't understand with people, you know. Like, they're higher beings that literally serve for the greater good of the creator. Zine? And they're responsible for our evolution, right? In the Bible, they call them angels, all of these kind of things. You hear people talk about guardian angels and stuff. Them literally working ceaselessly around the clock to ensure that we have the appropriate experience for our karma, based on what we need to learn and what we need to grow. There are beings out there that's all their purpose is, to make sure that we get sent to the right family, that we get sent to the right country, the right city, so that we can grow around the right people and have the right friends, and we can have the right
our choices that we've made before we enter this.
saying they work with us to create these scenarios, you know, and you work with groups of souls to create scenarios. So when you forward into, you get presented with a body now, and you inner yourself, due to negative experiences where you have and traumas where you go through, determine, say, yo, this body is not suitable for me, and all of them kind, that is totally going against the process of nature that has been in development for millions and billions of years. And we know we are going to determine, we are like children, you know, in this evolutionary cycle. We are literally like babies, you know. You know, you mentioned that when we were children, we were closer to the Most High, and we were closer to nature. That's 100% true. But we weren't self-conscious. And that is the same thing. That's the reality that we're coming from previous cycles in evolution. We were much more spiritual beings. We could see the other spiritual beings around us. We had our third eye was actually something that used to stick out, and we used to be able to perceive the world through our physical third eye, right? And then it developed, it actually atrophied over time to the point where our brains develop now. And that's the thing, is like we weren't necessarily self-conscious at the time. We were literally instruments of the higher. When them talk about Jehovah and them talk about all of these deities literally used to direct our every movement. You know, we are reaching to the point now where I said we're like babies, but we're actually like teenagers, where we're starting to think for ourselves now. We're starting to say, hey, you know, so and so, and trying to make our own choices and all of them things, but we don't have guidance. I mean, we don't have that that wisdom to know what is really good for us. When you're a teenager, you think you know everything.
Well, elders, we don't have elders.
That's it.
We don't
have
elders.
We're disconnected from them. We're disconnected from art. That's what I'm saying. Like when you're a child, you have the mother, you have the father, you have the older siblings to guide you. That is exactly how we work on Atlantis and all of these kind of places where we had spiritual beings closely. When Moses went to the bush and the bush spoke to him, it's like we needed that direct contact with these beings to guide us. We needed people to be able to go into the pyramids them and get knowledge directly from these higher beings so that they could.
Those assignments are specific. So not everybody's going to have that specific spiritual work.
No, but
there's some our work and there are others 100%. Of us who have. But because 100%. Of the way that, you know, you get out, you get a job, you do this, you trade, you know, the treadmill. Really nobody knows how to access their purpose anymore. Nobody's time in their own meditation as a child, learning what do I like, what do I have an affinity for. Your parents are not encouraging you to be an individual because they're so your future, not understanding that your future is dependent on fulfilling your purpose and finding your purpose.
You hit the nail on the head, Nine, because that's what I've been stressing to people lately. All right, in previous times, we had more of a tribal consciousness, where even the show when I tell you I watch, every person is a member of the tribe. You know, you're not really so much an individual. And that's the thing. We went through that period, and then we went through a period where we needed religions, where everyone is a member of the religion. This religion is our connection to the deity, which is, you know, Jehovah, or it is Christ, or it is Muhammad, or it is Allah, or it is God, whatever. The religion is the binding factor. But that's the thing. In the future, which we are just at the beginning stages of, we will truly be individuals where we're self-determined, where there's nothing necessarily outside of us that needs to direct us towards something. And because
it's where we're coming from, we have to go back to call life is a cycle. And we've been in that age where we were closest to perfection. But as with everything, the cycles are important so that we don't take anything for granted, and so that we can have the fullest experience. All I'm saying is not to say there is an error or there is something negative about the experience of knowing. It is happening. It is an opportunity to grow. We're not here to be perfect. We're here to have experiences, and however it unfolds is how it's supposed to unfold. They have a saying, Yeah, they were saying all is as it should be, and that's a frightening thing to think about when you're going through adversity, you know. But what if adversity is your teacher? What if adversity is the very
That's it.
thing required to provide you with the tools you need to find your purpose? What
That's
if
another
that
thing.
music as a child was curated just for
Just for
you
you.
to
Definitely.
read?
All right. So all right, the thing is, right? We are here because of karma. Like karma is action and reaction, cause
I
and
want to
effect.
stick for the benefit of the people listening in, right?
Sure.
Now, here in this country, right, I am around a completely different language. I am not exposed to English language unless I am watching, you know, something on the computer. Swahili is a much more ancient, much more beautiful, much more efficient language than the English language, right? And the way the way the brain works when you are speaking English language or when you're having to interpret things into English is different from the way the mind works when you are exposed to a more ancient language. And so a lot of the terms that we are choosing to use, like beings and spiritual and, you know, all of these terms, some of these words are only necessary because we are communicating in the English language, right? And so when the experience we have of other beings and entities, it's a different way that you communicate it. So a lot of times we get caught up in the semantics and we end up in arguments with people when really and truly we mean the same thing, you know? And there are certain that were metaphors that have become literal things because they were translated through Eurocentric ears.
Yeah.
And Eurocentric brains do not necessarily understand a holistic approach. Worse when now you're looking at the world from a more patriarchal, masculine vibration. And nothing is wrong with the masculine, but there are certain things that are not to be interpreted through that. They have to be interpreted through the balance. And so while we are using these concepts, and when you hear Kabaka using terms, you know what I mean, some of them might be very triggering to people because, again, this is the limitation of having to have this conversation in the English language. Yeah? So as we listen, we have to listen less with our brains and more with our hearts, because things might resonate in your heart and your brain will literally tell you to resist it. Yeah? So like I'll see some people in the comments here now, and you know, because you're talking, you know, in a way that kind of fight out, or it seems like it's fighting against the use of grabber and 24/7 smoking. You have people whose demons, for lack of a better word, are going to react negatively and make them feel like you are
And
literally, you know, quarreling with them.
I thought I was talking too positively about grabber, like me. I gotta encourage people to go about grabber. That's how me I think to myself.
That. So the moment you say anything that they don't like, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
we
but
live in this
that no nine. That
people don't
no,
want to be disturbed.
that is something where I are starting to accept. So no matter what you do and what you say and what your intention is, people are gonna take it the wrong way. Like I made some posts the other day. You know, I did it on YouTube and I did it on Facebook just to kind of see what the fans them approve, because as I mentioned to you, I've been investing some money in some crypto projects and I feel like these things can be very lucrative for the community. I must reaching out to say, yo, if the fans them would have been interested in hearing about some of these kind of things. You know, cause all right, for me, you know, my music, you know, no capitalist, never gonna be a slave. I take an approach where I feel like the economic imbalance in the world is one of the major issues where I feel to address. You know, and I feel like the whole thing with cryptocurrency, there's an aspect of it that's tied into the spiritual evolution of what we're dealing with, you know, where the decentralized aspect of it, where, you know, we're coming from a system where the banks control everything, you know, and everything runs through them, and them basically control how your whole economic and socio-economic structure is developed. Now with cryptocurrency, you find where you can be in control of your own finances. You can borrow and lend based on just your ability to yeah, exactly. And there's nobody telling you say you can't do this or you can do, or you have to apply for this, and then them look at your social security number and all of them kind of, and look at your tax look at your tax record and look at your credit score and all of them kind of thing. It's like you are in control. And the banks, them will give you like 0.1% per year upon your money. While them will take your money and invest it on the Forex market and the stock market and all of these kind of things and making billions with it. Where you can be doing certain projects on crypto and you're getting 8% per day, you're getting 20% per day, you're getting 60 to 100% per year upon some type of projects. And I'm saying, like, why doesn't everybody know about this? Why doesn't every youth in the ghetto know about this? And like, yeah, right now,
life is a risk. Everything is a risk.
everything's a risk. Everything. No, but the point I was making, people are saying, oh, Rasta, Renta Dread, Rasta, I talk about Babylon thing and all of them kind of thing. I mean, I say, like, people, come on, man. Come on, like, I should be talking about farming and all of these kind of things. Yeah, that well and good. Me sing about that, me talk about that all the time. But at the end of the day, is everybody in a situation where them can farm and feed them families? We should get there. But if you can just have your money working for you and you can go plant your food and do your thing and know say you can eat what you are grow, but you have your money working, you don't have to worry about that side of the thing there. You can be creative, you can paint if you want, you can do anything you want to do after that if your money are work for you. I'm like, what?
Tool, it is a tool, and a man that is afraid of a tool is a lazy man.
A lazy man.
And work and he's
done.
out a thing, then go and learn how it can serve them, right? And if you don't take responsibility and learn about it, it coming like when smartphones were just invented, yeah.
And
can't bother learn about that. Like all of your granny all know some old people don't want to learn about certain things. And they will never have access to even Web 2.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so now our children are growing up. They are completely exposed to certain things. I was thinking the other day, right? It's like you seem like you're gonna seem like an extremist now if you say I want to raise my children outside of the, watching television and certain types of toys and whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some or lifestyle or whatever. I want to raise my youth in that kind of way. And it's like, whoa, you're going to deprive the youth of this and you're going to do that. But 30 years ago, those weren't even options. And I like the result. So what if I just move those things out of the way during the formative years to ensure that the youth don't have to be limited by other imaginations? Yeah? What if I do that? And then if at the same time I'm providing them with information about the tools that are going to be available, then they now can create anything from those tools because they have not been, seasoned with, okay, that's what that tool is for.
Exactly.
So it's like a child who take to a musical instrument and create a brand new sound because nobody taught them how to use the instrument.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how I feel about my entrance into the whole NFT and crypto world. I'm learning the principles of these tools. So like, decentralized autonomous organizations, that I love that example. Even within cryptocurrencies, I'm not really trading so much. My thing is more, I found one or two that I feel like these are the ones that I can get the most benefit out of. And I just buy them and hold them down.
Sure.
Right? Down, and I'm just buying more of them. And I'm putting them down because I'm putting them down for 5 years. I'm not thinking about them because they are inevitabilities, right?
But that's the thing with
a man said that farm, right?
Yeah.
I am a continent, and I want to find a way where I can connect with the world without having to travel because I don't really want to have to interact with the things that you have to interact with to travel these days, right? So how do I fulfill that part of my destiny? I have fulfilled one part. I am here. I have access to land in abundance at a very good rate. I have access to the farming techniques that I need, some of the best seeds, all of these things that I would want. How do I now share them with the world? Cryptocurrency and Web3 give me the opportunity to create a decentralized autonomous organization, right? Where I can have people make the decision, do you want to be a part of this?
Let's determine
a value for it and a currency for it, and it's tied to a real world thing. If I buy a gold mine, right? If I get money and do these things, there's complete transparency and there's an opportunity for people to know that they own a piece of something for real on a contract that space where you can't go around it, right? And all it requires is just a little bit of research and understanding so that you can see the value of it. And instead of looking at these things as possibilities, you shut the whole thing down. To me, that is ignorance. To me, that is like,
All right. That's all.
selfishness, you know, because there's some brilliant people who just need to be unlocked into this space because of, but they would never do it because of whatever concept they have in their mind. But at the same time, they probably have very detrimental habits in their own personal life.
Yeah.
But they would outside the world have things to complain. Because you find the people who are complaining in life, you know, are the people who are having an unhappy life. Yeah, the people who want something to fight for. I remember when I started noticing a lot of the you know, the expats that were coming, the Black Americans coming, like it's like them don't realize you reach Tanzania, the fight is over, you know, you reach now. So what you plan to do? You're here and you want to form a group to complain, right? So all of these complaint groups, you come in the group to just vent and complain. But you're not there anymore. Like you literally aren't there anymore. Why are we even talking about that? What's the plan for moving?
That's my whole thing, because we grow up with a culture of struggle. It's like we grow up facing difficulties, you know, with the pressure from, you know, racism, from, you know, the socio-economic pressure of certain things. So it's like you just develop this antagonistic approach to everything. Everything is out there to hurt you. So it's like for me,
you will create a fight.
Yeah, exactly. And if we can create something where, you know, there's economic welfare for everybody and people grow up with that. And you know, you can just imagine how much people, just due to growing up within certain situations, it just lead to a lifetime of that kind of mentality. The only way to change it, that's why His Majesty was always about the balance of economic and spiritual growth and education and all of these things. Like it has, you can't think about spirituality if you don't have the right food to eat, or if you don't have food to eat, or you know, if you are worried about your bills and all of them kind of thing. You can't get to a point where you're at peace. And there are people out there right now who, like, I'm in some of these groups, Nine, with them people, yeah, and the type of questions that them ask. These are not intelligent people, you know, but these people are making a lot of money. And it's just because they know what's happening. They know the contracts that are out there, and as you say, everything is transparent. You find out about a protocol that have so and so % interest. You go and look at the contract. You go and see what you can see every transaction. If somebody buys, if somebody sells, if somebody compound, you can see everybody's transaction.
Contract.
Say that again.
I say you think you can go to the bank and ask them, please show me your contracts and let me see how you're spending my money, right? Yeah. But you'd rather go put it in the bank when fiat is about to die, rather than taking personal responsibility. You'd rather say, oh, let somebody else do it, and curse a man who is trying to do it himself.
For sure. And then you have people now, which I am a bit skeptical of as well, that will say, you know, is cryptocurrency them are going to use to control humanity and thing. And the thing is, them can't control what you have in your wallet or what you do with your thing, but they can control the point of exchange. So if a certain place or store decides, say, yeah, we're taking this currency, or we're taking this currency through this method, you have to send it to this thing first before you can, then yeah, them can control that. But them can't stop me and you building something and creating our own system within ourselves, for ourselves. Them can't stop that.
That is the punchline, brother. That is the punchline and the drum roll. Yeah? And it is that we need to use these tools now when they're in their infancy and create our own financial independence. We need to create our own
gold mines. Gold mines, yeah.
We need to create our own food sources. We need to create our own shipping methods. All of these things are the challenge. So use your abilities, your intelligence to apply it with these new tools. So we're not telling you to go do what these guys are doing. We're telling you take the tool these guys are using and go do the work that you know you need to do. Because a time is going to come when if you can't act coffee, no matter how much money you have stored up under your bed, you know, the day when that
system done, it done.
Don't mean nothing. That money is just what we all agree it means.
Yeah.
So let us agree to make some other things mean some other things, right?
For sure.
You get me?
For sure. There's
But
no stopping. There's
yeah,
no stopping the crypto thing. Like,
it's nearly midnight here, right? And if you
you there?
martial artist, I am carried in my belly right now. So I am really, really grateful for this opportunity to share with you. Every time I get to share with Kabaka, it's always hours potentially, because there's just so much that we don't get to say in other contexts, you know?
Definitely.
So I'm being able to share with my brother where we just, yeah, it's a much more free
Sorry.
process because of a foundation of understanding, of overstanding, you know? So we give thanks. And inner standing.
No flop nine.
So,
Thing what you do.
just want,
I'm in the Discord.
what you know? Where you say, brother? Where you gonna? Which tangent that now?
No, I'm saying I'm loving everything you're doing. I'm saying I'm in the Discord group and everything. So, you know, yeah, it's inspiring because I was just praying where they how more set up my Discord group and so I get whole heap of inspiration from you. I say Collibuds I do a thing as well. And I like,
Yeah.
well, just keep it up.
Calibuds, you know, the tomorrow, if we can find him, I try to find Calibuds, because we want as well have a discussion like this with him as well, you know. So if anybody who know Calibuds reaching out, make him know so we're reaching out, because we want to have a chat, because he have an NFT project as well that is going on. And yeah, we know Discord is an inner problem. The only thing I've discarded, the only thing that I would say about Discord is that that server itself is very intimidating. The conversations and my experience of the community that we build in there is beautiful because of the kind of energy that we attract.
Nice.
But, you know, the Discord comes from having to do it online. But to give that opportunity. So for everybody that is tuning in now, I have an NFT that is dropping on 420. If that whole NFT world is weird to you, go to Chalice Station. At Chalice Station, we break down how to get a wallet, how to deal with your thing, and how to get the NFT. Even if you don't have a wallet and you're not into crypto, you can literally be a part of the community or gift it to somebody using your credit card on OpenSea as well. So when you go to OpenSea, that is the marketplace that we're going to have the items for sale on. Medallions, these are not liquor faces. This is not a face thing. This is like a fist in the air saying, yeah, I have this badge, I'm wearing this, I'm taking care of myself. When you see that NFT in anybody's collection, you know that this person is taking personal responsibility for their wellness, even as they understand that material wealth is important. So this NFT is about balancing the material and the spiritual and physical. And we have programs lined up, wellness programs from people that are in my network that I know. Some people like, you know, Yes Baby, I Like It Raw, and her 365 wellness app. And we have Power Plant Nutrition from the UK. Now, like Power Plant Nutrition is one of them people there who literally have some of the best products I've ever used. And I'm talking about over the past several years. His formulas are exceptional, right? And he's one of those people who is not even really pushing it. Because, you know, you have them money who them not really have to push them thing. Them not even really advertise them thing.
Word of mouth.
How much they make, it will go sell out. And I'm trying now to expose the people in this community to like some high quality products, some high quality experiences, as well as a totally custom glass chalice. P. I have created the device of my dreams, the perfect chalice, the perfect steam chalice. And it starts with the kochi, the way that the herb interact with the fire, you know, is an amazing thing. And I'm really excited to share that. We're finishing up the development of it now. Of course, I cannot blow glass. I've had to go through some terrible glass blowers to find the right guys who can do this work for me. I tell you, man, some people too terrible. We'll find them and we're going to work on it so that by July, everybody has their glass steamers. And until then, we're getting some Steam Team Jamaica chalice. So everybody gets a free Steam Team Jamaica coconut chalice right away so we can start the breath work with it. And then I just only for things and continuing to add value every time we add new members and new networks to this community. So get the NFT. This is a wellness program. You're getting a whole heap of things for your money. And at the same time, you're becoming a part of the solution, you know, becoming a part of the balance. And this is especially for those people who already understand and appreciate the value of these, you know, these types of projects, but need that support to remember, go eat, go take care of yourself, no stretch a little bit, no? You know what I mean? We're trying to be that online friend for you. So tell a friend to tell a friend, go to a Chalice Station, learn about the project, find out how you can get in on it, go to OpenSea, check out the collection, and get ready to place your bids on Wednesday, 4/20. Yeah, 36 hours worth of vibes we are going to hold. And then, you see me, if you don't get it in the first 36 hours, the price are going to change because it'll become a rare thing, or we might just burn them and you can't get no more until July when it's the next drop or something. But yeah, all these technical terms can be intimidating, but trust, it's just a process. And if there are people like I and your brother Kabaka who are in the space, then you know that it is possible to do something positive here. Cause we're not mixed up in a rare, we're not mixed up in a death.
Fire for that. Fire for that.
So just keep it live, keep it upful. P, where are you now on your tour?
They are Dallas.
Dallas? Damn.
Yeah, I chill out in Dallas for the Earth Strong, and then we move to Houston and then Austin.
Hey, P!
Yeah, because
never
Earth Strong this one.
To them I did for call you. So we're all sending lots of birthday love to P. We're so glad he was born. Big up P mother, because since I've been pregnant, I've started to realize, you know, birthdays are all about your mother. And it's like I don't stop calling my mother and say, Mommy, big up yourself. And every time I go through some drama, child turning or something, I'm like, Mommy, I appreciate you. I apologize for all of the crosses that I might have caused in the past. Yeah. So big up your mother, P. Today is her day. Yeah. However old do I know? That many years ago, she was in a state of distress, preparing. Yes. But 9 months before that, she was holding you dear to her, making sure she eat the right way, drink the right amount of water, don't do what she must do. All of these things, because you have to be so careful when you're bringing for the youth as much as you have to, you know what I mean? So big up all of the mother them when it's birthday time. Big up all of the woman them, because only woman alone you'd come from. Woman, womb bearers.
Make we see the belly. The belly. Make we see the belly. Make we see the belly.
I don't want to see the belly. Yeah, you're so sad the belly. We're going to take some picture. We're going to take some picture to call baby belly aware.
Belly. Turn up and show the belly.
Not an appropriate time to do that. But we can start to do that soon.
Make sure you're not naked under there. You know.
No, of course not. Of course not. Right? But while we're online, it is very Tanzania.
No, but I see some comments. I'm clarifying. It's my Earth Strong in Tanzania now because it's past 12 o'clock. But on the west side of the world, it's tomorrow.
Almost your birthday. It's almost your Earth. It's almost. But it's close enough. Because by now your mother didn't know that this is about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So big up your mother, big up mommy, hug her up for me.
Definitely. Yeah. And bless up your mother.
I will. And everybody, just keep loving yourself. And in loving yourself, that light will show. Take care of yourself. Self-love, self-governance, self-discipline. Yeah, manage yourself. And make sure you preparing the youths them for the future. Stay out of their way. And that too, you know, you can't put too much upon the youth. You have to just kind of just make sure they might eat properly and just stay out of them way and let them teach you. And they will show you.
One thing I always tell people too, like, people not to stress themselves about certain things, because however you are and the way you live your life, that you are the person that the child chose to forward through. You know what I mean? So yeah, just don't pressure yourself. Like, you're not gonna be a perfect parent, but whatever the child is to experience is true karma. But always, you know, try and be the best you can, for sure.
That's a real chat, my brother, because you know what I mean, as you go through this journey now, you realize I'm not prepared for this. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm doing my best, but who knows, you know? So it's like you really just have to surrender. You really just have to surrender.
Like, if if you is a soul out there and you're pre like who me I go forward to and you see like a Jah9 out there, you know, says a powerful one I go forward, you know. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you know, say certain thing up on a level, you know, and the youth have got to discipline too because, you know, it's not an easy one either. So.
Yeah.
No, but I expect greatness. I expect greatness. You know, hopefully he's a musical warrior too, where, you know, step forward and
a scientist or like, you know.
and yeah, of course.
You know. But we give thanks. We give thanks for the time, P, for sharing those moments before your Earth Strong. And bless up to everyone. And please check out our Chalice Station. Yeah. P, since you're reaching at the crypto thing, now make sure you buy one of my NFT them and tell your friend.
Yo, no need for load the Ethereum network thing, the gas fees them man. You use Avalanche or some of them other network, yeah man.
Change and they're gonna move to proof of stake now, so it's gonna be a little less, you know.
True.
So
true.
Yeah. But right now, we're just trying to make it as accessible as possible. I bought out Ethereum. Trust me, it took me months before I finally was like, okay, fine, we'll just use Ethereum, right? And it's probably just for this first drop that we're going to use it. So we're just giving everybody a foot in the door. Remember, check out the information. Go check out at Chalice Station. See if you like it. Tell a friend. And make we get this thing cracking. We could start this, build this community and do some work, right? For the next 3 months, we're going to just dedicate some time to serving this community. Yeah? So you see me online more than you see me online for the past 2 years, in the past 2 weeks. So after 420, you don't see me again so often, right? We're going to just keep it
hiding.
Yeah. But blessed love, respect everyone. Love you know.
Love.
More beautiful Africa. Bless upon yourself. P, take care upon the road, my brother. Respect. So when the album will come out?
Ta forward this year.
True. I'm sure there are gonna be some amazing songs on it. I can't wait to hear the songs. Some of them more others.
Thank you for blessing me with some, you know, some creative input on the album.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
Not that.
Okay, good job. Blessed love, everybody. Respect.
Hopeful. Aye.
Oh, this live was amazing. Make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment, share. Someone's breaking in my house.